What's up, risers? Today we're going to do some MME on Fantasy Cruncher for NASCAR. Let's get to work. All right, so we're looking at the Dixie Vodka 400, and the race itself is irrelevant. What I want you to learn today is exactly how I personally suggest people use my projections and the advanced options in Fantasy Cruncher. How many uniques to run, what type of randomization you should have, and what to do with your groups. So the first thing you need to do is upload your data. Now, how do you do that? Well, you open up my projections sheet. If you're choosing, let's say we're doing DraftKings first, the DK weighted projections are purely for large field tournaments. Your goal is to take down a big tournament against a lot of people. These are those very large tournaments with $500,000 up top, 50,000 entrants, things like that. So that's what I like to play. So I'm going to be using DK weighted. If you're doing smaller tournaments, maybe you're doing like a 5,000 person, 150 max, where you have 3% of the entire field's worth of entries, or maybe you're doing a 20 max and it's a little bit smaller tournament with only 3,000 people, things like that, I suggest going DK balanced. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab the drivers. And you can grab all these at patreon.com/riserfall. We're going to go back to Fantasy Cruncher, upload data, drop the player names in there. All that did is it just pastes the names in here. The next thing you're going to do is grab the projections. We decided we wanted DK weighted. Back to FC we go, drop them into the projections. Then you upload the projections themselves. And all right, we have my own personal Riser Fall projections. The next thing I like to do is I go straight to my options. 2 uniques. I'm going to go to randomness. I'm going to put 5% in there. I really like my projection set. We've had some really big winners over at Riser Fall. So I'm going to lean on the projections a little bit more, but I'm also going to embrace the fact that NASCAR is pretty volatile. A lot of wear and tear on tires, bumps, crashes, things like that can really throw a driver out of alignment and ultimately just end their day, which would end your day if you don't have some randomness built in. Now I'm going to go to the groups. I have 2 sections on my cheat sheet that I tell people to pay attention to. The first is the core. You can see my core right here: Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Michael McDowell. When we're looking at the cheat sheet itself, I have the core identified by these X's right here. So you know, okay, Mitch's core is Michael McDowell, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch. So you throw those 3 into a core. The next one is the risers category. The risers picks are my confidence picks. For these drivers, they're going to have a good day at their price point based on the projections, my own personal opinions, ownership projections included into this, and a myriad of different statistics and factors kind of culminate to this final decision on who is a riser and who is not. So you go back to FC, you add all of the risers in there. This week there are 9, and you ask FC to put at least 4 drivers from this group into every single lineup. And you'll see a little bit of crossing between the core and the risers. So as we saw in our core, we had Busch, Truex, and McDowell. Well, look at this. We have Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, and McDowell. That means there are 6 additions to this group. We're going to enable all groups. The last piece we need to do is fill out our player pool, which I've done for you, and I'm going to show you how I did it. I went to my projection set. I looked at MME, and all of the MME drivers with an X in them is the rest of my MME player pool. Once I have them all into my player pool by using this little check mark, I simply go down here, however many lineups I need. Once I have them all in my player pool, I just go down here. I know how many I need, 20 max, 150 max, whatever it is. Use my projections. You're going to calculate. All right, now you're looking at my final exposures. This is how my player pool, my projections, my groups, and my settings would all culminate to a final 150 max that I would then export that lineup and upload it into DraftKings, enter some type of 150 max contest. If you saw something here where there's a glaring issue, then you would adjust it accordingly, maybe lower someone's exposure, lower their projection, raise somebody else's projection so that their value score is a little bit higher, which would allow them to pop in the optimizer. For instance, if you had Tyler Reddick a little bit less exposure than you wanted, maybe you wanted 30%, you would have to make sure you upped his projection so that his value score was over people like these people here, these other drivers, so that he would pop a little bit more in the model. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you check out the free MMA video, the League of Legends strategy video, similar to this one, where I show people how exactly I use the League of Legends projections. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy free content like this and support a daily free content creator. If you want more, check out patreon.com/riserfall. I have all sports covered at either a $9.99 or $19.99 tier. The prices will never, ever change. Never change. All sports, both prices, locked in. Give it a look. A lot of value. Very affordable. Take care, everybody. Together, we rise or fall.